Hi guys, and welcome to this week's episode of The Deep Dive. This week we've got a returning guest, a fantastic Mr. Chris Rawlins, that's going to tell us about his brand new effect. But before we get started, as always, if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe and that notification bell and you'll be notified every time we go live right here on YouTube. And we do have weekly and even daily videos going up, so you'll be notified of all of those. And also, if you haven't done so already, download the Alakazam app. Because we do have, when effects come in and they're in limited supply, they do go on the app first, so you get first grabs of it, and you'll see over to the side or somewhere, you'll actually see a little QR code. Scan the right one, whether you're on iPhone, whether you're on Android, and you can download the app totally free of charge, and you'll be kept up to date with everything that's happening at Alakazam. Now, without further ado, we're going to introduce our guest for today, Mr. Chris Rawlins. Hi, Chris.
Hello. Hi.
Nice to have you back.
It's good to be back. Look at this. A sunny day. I'm making a return to the deep dive. Look at that.
Yeah, perfect. What more could you want?
What more could you need out of a Thursday? Or Sunday. Sorry, Sunday.
So, Chris, what have you been up to? Because you were one of our first episodes, I think.
Yeah, I was. I've been here since, started from the bottom, now we're here, as someone once said. I've been busy, man. Been, doing stuff, doing shows, talking to people about the keys, talking to people about this new thing. I've been up to a lot, but I'm excited to be here to talk about it, What about you? What's been going on? Obviously, you've become a master DJ since we last spoke, so...
Well... Yeah, you did point those out earlier. There's my turntables and everything behind me, which as we discussed, get dusted off every 3 years, where I get the passion back.
How long is it going to be till there is an Alakazam convention and you can do the soundtrack for the whole thing on the drum machine or the sample pad? Because that would be, as a genuine question, that would be a lot of fun. And when is it going to be an Alakazam convention? That's a real question.
Do you know what? We were talking about a convention many, many years ago, and every year we talk about it, and we keep saying we're going to do one, and it is just getting round to doing it, because a convention, I've never done one, but I presume it's a lot of hard work and it takes up a lot of time. But I've got a very good friend that you'll know as well, Etienne Pradier, who's sort of down my neck of the woods, and we've been discussing it as well together, and I think it is going to happen. I think we are going to have a little convention down here, and if I do get the turntable set up there, then Mr. Spellman will be right next to me beatboxing. We were going to do that on a DVD once, many years ago.
You should have done that on the Stealth Assassin. That would have been the first time I would have ever seen you on, anywhere. And if you'd been beatboxing and DJing, that would have made magic history right from the get-go there.
It was one of the things we were going to do, because we always tried to... we always wanted to put little funny things into our videos. I mean, one of the ideas we had, and we never got round to doing it, was we were going to release a double disc set called Live from Vegas. We got it all filmed. Russ Stevens filmed it all, and I believe when we got back and he checked the hard drives, I think the footage was all corrupt, so it never ended up coming out. But one of the ideas was to put like the second disc would just have learn kid shows and a big face of a clown and everything else, and for the first 10 minutes of the DVD it would literally be a friend of mine who's a kids entertainer dressed as a clown.
Amazing.
doing this whole and then at one point me and Mark just come in and rough him up and kick him off and start doing it. So that was one of the things. There was another great clip actually. I shouldn't be talking about me because we were to talk about you, but there was a really good clip we filmed in a Vegas hotel because we were sharing a room, and it was just after Darren had done his buttons trick.
Of course.
You remember the premise was getting him slapped round the face,
Yes.
So the camera just starts on me looking down at the table, and all you see is Spellman slap me round the face, and he says, "Try it again," and I say 180, and he just slaps me, and this goes on for about 4 times, and then the camera pans out, and there's like 4 M&Ms on the table in front of me. We had loads of these little things that we filmed, and the footage is just gone, and it was so funny. It was really good. But we're not here to talk about me.
Okay. But I remember though. I remember the Assassin was the first like peak wallet I ever got, and I still remember enjoying watching those instructions because you two are naturally funny with each other. I mean, in person, I'm sure, but on camera, you have that good back and forth, and that's more Magic stuff should be like that, funnier and like get the information across, but also have a good time doing it.
I honestly think the Assassin DVD was the first DVD that was like that. There was just two people having a laugh, because I remember when we did it, when we filmed Mark's chapters, I remember saying to him, look, you got to be very serious. This has got to be this. We're selling it all over the world. People don't accept maybe our type of humour. We can't offend. We don't want to do this, don't want to do that. And everything back in those days was very prim and proper. It was. And when we did the Assassin DVD, we made a conscious decision. Just be yourself. We're just going to be ourselves.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was the first one. I think after the Assassin, you saw more people doing stuff and having a laugh with each other, because it then become, okay, you can do it. Not saying that we're the only ones that wanted to do it, but I think we were the first to go, we're going to do it.
Yeah,
we're just going to change, just be ourselves on it. And I think it did. Yeah, I think it really works. I still enjoy watching them. I cringe a bit.
It's also packed full of stuff on there. There's a lot of good stuff on those instructions. I don't know if anyone who has those should go back and watch them. Treat yourself this weekend or something.
Yeah,
Today,
and you'll
Sunday,
see me with a tad more hair, and it was darker.
It was darker. The darkness is a choice, Pete. You can still make it look darker if you want, but you're looking good as a
silver fox.
There we go.
Yeah. So anyway, that's enough about me. You're very good at this. When you don't want to talk, you just ask questions and get me.
No, but I just like talking to you, but also I don't always like talking about me. I think there's a lot of magicians who really love to talk about themselves, and I like to talk. I could talk for a long time. That last time we did one of these, it went on for like 2 hours. Yeah. But I don't necessarily like to talk about my own work and stuff. At least on camera, I find it quite difficult. So, yes, what we're here to talk about. Interview me. I'm here to answer your questions.
Right. So, firstly, I just want to mention as well, Hide a Key, which was a phenomenal seller for us. And for you, it's such a great trick. Harry loves it. He'd done it on our social media, and it really blew up. I mean, people wanted it. They've been out of stock for a while, but there's good news. They are coming in again.
You got a fresh delivery on the way, as if by postal magic it will arrive. Probably, but I mean, as people watch this, you already have them. I don't know if people know that yet, but yeah, look at that. They're in stock. Look at that. There you go.
Light magic.
From this place to your place in a matter of seconds via the YouTubes. Is that the right word? Did I just say YouTubes? Oh, please edit that out.
YouTubes is fine. We'll leave that in. That's fine.
I'm definitely getting old. Yeah, so I mean, if you want, it'll take 2 minutes, but there's actually a couple of cool things with Hide a Key that were only shared with me really recently, within the last couple of weeks. So if you want to keep them in here as a bonus for people, I'd love to tell people about them really quick.
Oh, man, go ahead.
Let's do it. Okay, look, I really, 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 I mean, I always have this with me, but a guy called Michael Lanio is how I'm going to pronounce his name, but he's American, so it might be pronounced, I might be saying it wrong because I'm British, but he had a very clever, simple idea that he shared with me, and I made a little video about it, posted it, on the cafe, I believe, and all of that. But I want to just tell you now the idea quickly. So if you have hide a key and if you want to do this, you can straight away. Michael's idea, which is really, really, really great. Let me stand up so you can see. Michael's idea was to hold hide a key like this, excuse me, and then to cover this with your thumb, so it looks like that the different key, that in my case the brass key, is in the middle, right? Even though it's not, because we know this is the key that's in the middle. That's the top because it's the part of the hide a key system, we'll call it, and that's the back one. But if you hold it like this and cover with your thumb, it looks like it's in the middle. So now I can say to you, Pete, would you name a number, 1, 2, or 3? Shouldn't
let's go 2.
2, the number 2. Okay, look at this. I'm going to spread these out so you can see them. Can you see this? That's 1.
Yep.
That middle one is 2. I mean, it can't change from that position, right? And then that's 3. And then you would go into the vanish, and you would obviously vanish that middle key because it's the one that always vanishes. But very simply, once again, we can go from the other side. If you say 1, so say 1 for me, Pete. Let's pantomime this all the way through. 1, that's this key right here, starting on the left side. That's number 1. You can see that has a little pattern on it. It's actually got like a kind of a texture on there. Keep your eye on that key. You're going to see it swing back and forth. And then if you say 3, what I do is turn like this. This is all Michael Lanio. And I start from here. I go, look, that's 1, 2, 3. That's this key right here. Hold on to that for me, please. Okay, great. You can see that's got a pattern on it. And then you just come up here, do the vanish, as we all know. And now it's like a chosen key has nicely vanished. So really, really simple thing, right? But he emailed it to me, and I thought, wow, this is so good.
Yeah, so nice. So I mean, the gimmick is really well made. It works beautifully, and it's totally self-working. The effect is totally self-working.
Listen, I'm a mind reader and a memory guy. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And I think that's. I've had a lot of people say to me, I really like it, I have it, but I really carry it around, and I guess that's why. Because for me, that's what it is. I know we spoke about this before. We're not here to talk about the keys, but I carry it around because it's just no effort. If I don't feel like, even if I could do crazy sleight of hand with coins or keys or stuff, I just don't need to with hide a key. And now I really like that they can choose which key vanishes. Super, super fun. So I'll send the link to you, Pete, and maybe you could share that with people who have it, or in some way we could get that out to people in the future.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I spoke to Greg Wilson a couple of months ago, actually, or a few weeks ago, and he carries hide a key on his professional set of keys. So
he does, right? Something else he carries, and I know you weren't going to mention this probably, but he carries this. He carries Ian Bailey's keyring, which is also something I've been playing around with. It's loads of fun. So yeah, and actually he carries that around all the time with him, right? The keyring, because it's like, I guess just like hide a key, but I can see Greg Wilson doing that. I like Greg. I appreciated him being on the hide a key thing so much. He's super nice, been lovely with me. And he's a great magician, right? He's insanely amazing at everything, really, right? But this is such a Greg Wilson style trick. Like I can straight away imagine him doing it. So sorry I interrupted you there, but I got excited because I know Greg also loves this and hide a key, and it's perfectly together, I think.
We were when we were filming the VDEC trailer, Greg kindly offered to be on the trailer for us, and we went to Smoke and Mirrors, Mark Bennett's place, and Greg, before he filmed the trailer, he must have performed maybe an hour's worth of magic to everyone in the bar, but everything, and I've said this before, everything he did looked impromptu.
Yeah,
it wasn't, but looked it.
This is not to bring this back to about me, because it's not at all. I'm talking objectively about hide a key, because I love it just as much as some of the people that have it, But that's what I like about it so much. Same as key, like I did keyring at the weekend for someone as we were walking through London. We were from like place A to place B, walking in the sunshine, and I've taken it off for this set. I have a few different sets, but this is the one I've carried around the most. I'm actually planning to just replace this brass key at the back with the keyring key, and then I've always got those two things together, with this one on the chain. But Pete, it's magical. But you can also do keyring in a way that, like, the person I did it for went, "Oh my god, I think they really thought I'd somehow like bent
Yeah.
that around my thumb and then just given it to them when we carried on walking." And that's super interesting as well. So to jump back to what I was going to say when you said Greg Wilson, like, and Heideke and keyring, I also love those things that feel, how could anyone know that you're ready to do keyring or Heideke if you've got those with you? But when you do, it's like, I asked him to do something and he made a key that I chose vanish and it was in my pocket. What the? And then, I asked him to show me something and he took his house key and he bent it around his thumb and he texted me 3 hours later and he still can't get back into his house because the key's still he likes to.
Yeah.
I love magic like that. I think we all do, right? We all have those things we want to carry around and do. So anyway, it's not about keys. I just, keyring's great. I think Ian's great. And I think you all did a great job with, the trailer and the box and how well the gimmick is as well, how well made it is. I feel like if I tried to, do damage to this, it would never even happen. It's such a solid kind of unit of a gimmick. So, love it.
Thank you, mate. And Ian will no doubt watch this. So
Ian, you're watching? Okay, that was sorry. Ian's funny. He makes me laugh a lot. Have you seen Ian's Dove Magic? Yeah. I won't say more. I'm on a mission to create an underground legend and magic and myth that Ian Bailey's got a very good Dove Magic act, which he does.
Yeah, his Dove Magic act is unexpected, I would say.
It's surprising, I would also say. Yeah. I don't want to say too much else, but if you're interested, get in touch with Ian about his Dove Magic act. I'm sure he'll show it to you sometime.
Yeah. So let's get on to the trick of the moment, your brand new release. When you sent me the trailer of this, instantly I fell in love with it because you've taken one of the strongest card effects ever created, without a shadow of a doubt. And you've given it, and I know a lot of mentalists do this card effect anyway, but you've now given it a real mentalism type plot. It's you're no longer doing it with playing cards. I think it's genius thinking. I honestly do.
Oh, thanks, man. Well, thank you. That's very nice of you. I love Out of This World, and I'm on a long list of people who love Out of This World, right? Like you said, I think we all love it. We've all done it. And this is just a slightly different way to do it. And I'm really, really happy with how it came out. It's been a while in the works, same as the keys was, same as everything. Everything takes time, but the design is amazing and it looks just how it does on the trailer. The quality of everything is great. We made the box that it comes in be the box for the prop as well, so it just looks super nice. Looks really real. That was the main thing, So yeah, and hey, it's a thing you can do that allows you to really, I don't want to say the word connect, because it can or it can't, depending on how you do it and who you're doing it for, and how you make that experience feel. But it really does open up channels for conversation and connection, if you want, or communication. So, and it really just has I'm not saying it's better than Out of This World by any stretch, because I think Out of This World is a perfect effect. Regardless of the method, it's amazing. And you can do that in conjunction with this, but Predictable is probably the most unique prediction you could do for a person, because by the end of it, when you do that final reveal, it really feels like you already knew things about a person that you've never met before. So it feels like it almost couldn't work with anyone else in any other moment in time, any other place. That's what's so kind of cool about it for me. So I love it. I think it's great. Obviously, I'm biased, but
but you have got with Out of This World, which is a phenomenal trick.
Of course.
But there isn't really that. There isn't that personal connection. It's you're gonna just tell me if you think it's red, if you think it's black, or if whatever presentation you use, you're not really going any deeper than is it red or black? They're making a choice on colour. And even though you can build a premise around that, whereas this is their personal opinion. This is about them. This is about their feelings.
It's about their preferences, their feelings, there are some of the, obviously it's questions, right? And the idea of it is it looks like a game. And I have this, you don't see this in the trailer, but there's a really great, I don't want to say justification, but a great context that you put this in where you say, hey, it's a game, it's called Table Talk, and the purpose of the game, from what I understand as someone who's only played it a couple of times, is that you shuffle up the questions, you choose one, and then there's these yes-no cards. And what happens is you put your answer face down on the table, and then everyone around the dinner table, because it's like an after-dinner game, they'll take a guess at what they think the answer is, and then you reveal your answer, and yada, 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 and you all get to know each other. And just by saying that, whether you drag that out a little more or make it more succinct, it justifies the yes-no cards. It justifies what it is. It's a game, why it exists. And then from there, you play this game, and then at the end, you hit them with this surprise of, actually, Pete, before we did this, I took a marker pen and I had you in mind, but I wrote something on the back of all of these questions. So, and then you reveal, and they just. It just hits differently. It's more resonates personal. Yeah, personal. But also, some of the questions are like, would you risk your life to save a stranger? Or if you enjoy wasting time, is that time really wasted? Or another one that's great, that's kind of could be either way, is, let me get the wording on this right, it's complicated to say. If anything is possible, is it possible for anything to be impossible? So there are some questions sprinkled in there that are actually really open for debate and not just down to personal preference. So they add like little slow burn thoughts for later on when they go like, I said no to that one, but I could have said yes, but he still knew, Anyway, I love it. It's really fun to do as well.
And I'll just say as well, there has been decks of cards, proper decks of cards, like this released, and there was one released recently. I saw it on some morning program somewhere. Some woman had created this deck of cards that has questions on it, and the aim of them was to teach people how to communicate, because nowadays young people are on their computers, on their games, and it was to have at the dinner table so you could actually start a conversation.
Honestly, I have a very, very smart person who's a friend of mine once said to me, you should look, I guess it's, in some ways it's a known thing, but when he said it to me, it was like a good lesson. It was, you should look for things that are really happening in the world or that really exist, and then not try to find connections with the magic you do, right? But, in this way, Table Talk, if you punch that into Google, you won't find this exact one that looks exactly like that, but you'll find about 10 different versions of a thing called Table Talk, because the idea is a real idea. And like you just said, the game really does exist. And then what people have done is make different versions of that in different, for different purposes. So to teach people how to communicate, to just have an aspect in the game, some people for teaching people how to learn languages, stuff like that. So if someone did, I wanted to call the trick Table Talk. Is that going to focus? That's what I'm going to hold this for and just wait for it to focus.
There you go.
There it is. Okay. So I was going to call it Table Talk as a release, but then the problem is if everyone is talking about it online as Table Talk, it comes up as a thing. So that's why we've called it Predictable. Full circle, by the way. Ian Bailey suggested the name. So thank you, Ian Bailey, for suggesting Predictable instead of Table Talk. But yeah, man, it exists in the real world. People, sometimes there's like justifications for stuff in Magic where you go, oh, this is a game or whatever. I think there's sometimes where that doesn't feel like it's true, and people you're doing the Magic, not always, but sometimes. I've bought some of those things and they're probably behind me somewhere. But I feel like with this, really, it just feels like, you could have got that on Amazon, you could have got that at Waterstones, you could have got that at CVS, you could have got that at an airport.
Yeah, and like you said, the box it comes in, and I always like this type of thing. We do it with a few of our products. i.e. the packaging box is actually a box that you can use during performance. It just says, you know, this is a
100%.
great party game or whatever, you know, rather than
We did
Alakazam
it.
magic.
We did it sideways on, so like some of the handlings talk of, like, for example, when it's in the box, you can't see the yes nos on the back because they're all pre-printed. But also, if you're doing this on a surface that is a bit grubby, like in a bar or restaurant or a coffee shop or anywhere, you know, I was on the trailer. We filmed it in like a beer garden for a pub on a sunny day. And if you're doing it on a table and you're a bit conscious of like, it's a bit gross, this table. We talk about like simple changes you can do to put it in this like horizontal box so that the cards don't get gross as you do the thing instead of spreading them on a table.
Yeah.
And and there's also a great bonus. No one's really. I mean, they all went out as we filmed this. It's Thursday, shattering the illusion of the deep dive on a Sunday.
Of our early morning Sunday coffee.
Yeah, with early morning Sunday coffee. It's definitely Sunday, not Thursday. And as we do, all the orders went out yesterday. And so I don't think these have arrived with people yet. But when they do, people will realise. I have mentioned it, but it gets forgotten, I think, because it's not the main thing. There's a great bonus you can do with this deck, and it essentially becomes like a symbol deck. Will it focus? There we go. So each question card has a little symbol underneath it, and because of that, at the end of the trick, when you've done that and the person's blown away, you can actually say to them, you know, I'm so glad I was right about you, and I feel like now we're really in tune, as if that's helped us sync up. Do you mind if we try something else? And of course, they yes. And now you say which ones you want to use, the yes ones or the no ones. They choose, and then you have them take one. Method-wise, it's exactly what you expect, but then you're able to have them think about the question and the little image, and you can do it like a drawing duplication with, as a bonus trick. So it's really good. That's if you do it that way. Good. Yeah,
really good, really good. So I tell you what, why don't we play the trailer? And then we'll come back and we'll chat a bit more.
Yeah, all right, man. I won't watch it because I've seen it, but you can play now and I'll tell me when it's over.
Right, here we go. This is the trailer for Predictable.
That's really odd.
I don't know how you knew that.
That's mad.
Freaked me out.
I believe that Out of This World is the greatest card trick that we can perform. This is my version of it.
We're going to play a strange version of this game, but you get to decide first. Do you want to be nice and positive and look for yes, or do you want to look for no?
I'll go for yes then.
You're going to go first. So if the answer for you is yes, just pull this over towards you and put it right in front of you like this. Right. We'll take it in turn. So I'm going to look for no because you've chosen yes, but that was your choice and it's important you remember that. If I won the lottery, would I tell anybody? No. Truthfully, the answer is no, I wouldn't tell a single person. You'll go, we're going to go back and forth, really answer as honestly as you can, because no one's judging you, and the important thing is that if you answer personally, truly, honestly, those are answers that I shouldn't know about you. Correct. Because we don't know each other.
Fair enough.
You didn't even know you were going to be here.
Well, no,
All right, okay. I couldn't know those things about you, unless maybe I did.
Right.
Or maybe I do. Because earlier, when I found this game, I knew that I would end up showing it to you, even though I don't know you.
All right.
And I had a feeling like you'd be positive and you'd choose to look for yes. So on the back of all of these, I wrote something. The ones you didn't want, I put no. The really strange thing is it's the ones that you chose to keep, the ones that you answered for yourself. I mean, I had a feeling that you would be a snorer, or you would recycle or gamble, or can you keep a secret? And yes, on the back of all of these.
All right, that's pretty good. I don't know what to say, to be honest. I don't know how you knew that.
Wrote this on the back of all of them.
Freaked me out.
That's really odd.
That's ridiculous.
That's really odd. Felt like I was giving real thought into my answers and I didn't even know what I was going to choose. So based on what you already picked out for me is bizarre.
If you could summarise what just happened, both of you, in like a sentence, what would you say?
That's how I felt.
So good.
Not looking, still not looking.
So good, mate. So good.
All right.
So, at the time of this going out, we should have these in stock. So, guys, if you want to order one, there should be like a little button somewhere, or under the video, there will be a link so you can pop along and buy it. So, we're going to wrap this up now, Chris. It just leaves me to say thank you for joining us once again.
Thanks for having me. It's been lovely. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, mate, and no doubt we will see you soon with your next release. Are you working on something new at the moment? You don't have to tell us what it is, but
I got some good things cooking. They're like everything. They take a long time to really get right, but there's a handful more things that are slowly ticking along. So you'll see me again. Don't worry, I'll be back.
brilliant.
But yeah, I can't say more. But fun stuff. My dog Albert is now barking at a cat outside, so I'm going to go and see that. He's not going to get to the cat, and we'll make sure everything's okay. But yeah, I'll be back soon, and you'll be the first to know about it, man. I'll give you a phone call.
Good man. So, Chris, thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Thank you.
So, guys, that's it for this week. The Deep Dive, thank you so much for joining us. Please leave a comment, hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and you'll be notified every time we go live on YouTube. Also, if you don't follow our other socials, like Instagram, Harry puts up videos every single day of products and demonstrations and performances, so pop along and follow us on Instagram, and obviously our Facebook page as well. And if you haven't got the app already, make sure you download the the Alakazam app on Apple App Store and Google Play. So pop along and do that. So as always, thank you so much for joining me on the Deep Dive. I hope you enjoyed it. And make sure you check out Predictable by Chris Rawlins and Hide a Key, both fantastic products. And I'll see you next week right here on the Deep Dive. Until then, have yourself a great week.